Hello, this is Tom Queasley. Just a little history. In the fall of 2019, the state leaders of USA Wrestling decided that the video challenge and video review should be used at all national level tournaments. This slideshow will help you learn that process. It is specific to Folkstyle Wrestling, the Windows PC, and Trackwrestling. Some things to remember as we start this process. Video will be reviewed by the official on the mat and by another official working the tournament. The idea is to bring a fresh set of eyes by asking another official to review the video with you. Make the review as quick as possible. Consider the position of the official on the mat. Were they in good position to make the call? Does the video show irrefutable evidence for changing the call? Don't be afraid to admit that it was the wrong call and that there could be a better call. Get it right. Other things to remember. View the video in real time. Slow motion invents scoring situation and often distorts the real scoring sequence. Learn the technology and teach it to your table workers so they can have the video ready in the event of a challenge. Scrub to the right position on the video and only watch the video that the coach has questions about. Make a decision and a ruling as quickly as you would on the mat. Then make a quick explanation to the coach, show the scoring visually on the mat, and move on. How do I find the video on the computer? As soon as there's a challenge, you will click on the video camera icon in the green recording box near the top of the controller screen. Note this recording box or icon will not appear if Track Wrestling is not recording video for the tournament. The orange arrow indicates that green scoring box and the video icon. The video will open in a VLC video player software window on the computer monitor. Look at the clock on the mat to see how much time has elapsed in the period or the match. Click on the scrub bar near the bottom of the video window to find the point of review, carefully watching the clock that is on the video so that you can match it up with the clock on the mat. Complete the video challenge. If you have to watch the video challenge more than twice, probably the call on the mat was a good call. X out of the screen and close it so there's not multiple screens on the desktop. This can be confusing in later video reviews. Click on a white space on the controller to bring the focus back to the controller software so that you can begin the match again and begin scoring. There are some hotkeys on the keyboard. I'd recommend using the mouse and the icons that are on the video screen. By clicking any place on the video, the scrubber bar will appear at the bottom of the screen, as indicated by the orange arrow. Click within that scrubber bar using your mouse arrow and moving to the right or the left to scrub to the position of the video that you need to review. Scrub the video by moving the slider bar at the bottom of the video screen until the time on the clock is just a few seconds before the reviewable action. Again, check the time on the mat side clock to determine this time. The orange arrow indicates the time that is on the video screen. Signal the reaffirmed score or the corrected score for the coaches and the spectators to see by walking on the mat and raising the appropriate points and appropriate color. Assess a 1-point penalty if needed by adding a +1 on the Track Wrestling controller. This does not enter into the penalty sequence. It's just a +1 for the other wrestler. No penalty point will be assessed if there's any change in the score that is in favor of the challenging wrestler. Adjust the clock if bad time is involved in changing the score. Folkstyle video review rules and guidelines as adopted by the USWA and the USA Wrestling Coaches Council. Note, the concept of the video challenge is essentially the same in all styles of wrestling. However, Folkstyle Wrestling offers some instances that call for a variation in the process used in Greco and Freestyle. It is not the intent of the video challenge process to have a challenge block thrown every time a coach disagrees with a judgment call. Rather, it is to fix a mistake or a missed infraction not seen because of positioning on the part of the official. Coaches should also take into account the position of the camera when issuing the challenge. The camera may not have an advantage of a better position than the official on the mat making the call. Folkstyle video review guidelines. Folkstyle modifications will be as follows. The jury will consist of two officials, consisting of the official that is on the mat and any other official assigned to the tournament, and this can include the head mat official or the rules clinician. Challenges must be made in a timely manner, generally within 5 to 7 seconds of when the scoring situation is posted onto the score clock, but ultimately this will be up to discretion of the jury. Falls and pins can only be challenged in a situation where time may have expired, or an out of bounds may have occurred, or when an illegal hold is applied by the wrestler securing the fall. No challenges will be accepted at the end of the bout unless there is potential for the result of that challenge changing the winner of the bout, changing the athlete's advancement in the tournament, or changing the value of the team points awarded during team competitions. These challenges, if accepted, must be made before the start of the subsequent bout on that mat or in that meet. Calls that involve stalling, fleeing the mat, unsportsmanlike conduct, unnecessary roughness, penalties for illegal hold, except if the offensive wrestler secured the fall, potentially dangerous hold, and acts of misconduct will not be challenged. Errors in bad times should adhere to the National Federation of High School Rulebook. Scoring challenges must be made prior to the start of the subsequent period. However, if a coach realizes a mistake in positioning has occurred, the challenge block should be thrown at that time. Challenges that do not result in the changing of the score to the advantage of the challenging wrestler will result in the technical point being added to the opponent's score. This would be done by hitting a +1 for the opponent. The loss of the challenge block for the remainder of that bout will also be part of the penalty. If there's a technical problem when the video is not available, the original decision will stand. The coach will be given back the challenge block. In competitions where the video challenge is in place, it replaces the coach's misconduct rule 5.5 Article 1.3 in the National Federation Rulebook. If a coach thinks there's a misapplication of the rule, he or she must use the challenge block. A coach may only approach the official through the scoring table to question if the proper score was recorded and shows on the clock. If he or she disagrees with the scoring, the challenge block must be used. If the coach lost the block in a previous challenge, there can be no further challenges for that bout from that coach, and wrestling will continue. Further attempts by the coach to interrupt the bout will result in him or her being issued in accordance to the National Federation Rulebook, an unsportsmanlike penalty. All decisions made by the jury will be final and not be changed. Therefore, it is not possible to request a counter challenge. Challenge protests will only be accepted after the end of the bout, where a scoring error occurred in the last wrestled period and the wrong wrestler was declared a winner. If the score is correctable by video review, the score will be corrected and the match results will stand or be changed. If it is determined that there was bad time, the correct score will be established and the bad time will be re-wrestled. End of the match. Bad time in video review is described as the time remaining in the match after the correction is made. When the video challenge is used in a dual meet situation, no challenges or protests from the previous match will be accepted after the start of the subsequent bout in that meet. A coach may approach in two instances and quickly ask, without throwing the challenge block, is that score correct on the clock, or is that time correct on the clock? He would receive from the officials, yes, coach, it is, or no, coach, let me correct it. If the coach still disagrees with the existing or corrected results, he or she must immediately decide whether to throw the challenge blocks or return to the coach's corner. All other differences must be challenged using the challenge block. The whole idea behind the video challenge is to get it right. Ego should not enter into it. Everybody should be working toward making sure the correct athlete wins.